What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Jarrell Big Baby Miller is set to earn $7 to $8 million in his upcoming showdown with unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, June 1st, Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world. And I want to take my hat off to Jarrell Big Baby Miller, right, for standing his ground and receiving what he's worth, right? What they say, you don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate, right? And so with that said, I made plenty of videos stating that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn back were against the wall. They were backed into a corner due to the circumstances with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and not being able to secure a big fight for Wembley Stadium April 13th, which is a big venue, which is the Madison Square Garden of the UK, right? And so with that said, you know, they needed an opponent worthy to place that date that they secured with that venue, right? And Dillian White stood his ground, okay? Jarrell Big Baby Miller stood his ground, and Luis King Kong Ortiz, we know, was never an option. So he didn't even get a chance to stand his ground. But as far as it goes with Dillian White stood his ground. He ended up not getting the fight, but still in all, Jarrell Big Baby Miller stood his ground. He ended up getting the fight. And like I told you guys, whether you like it or not, or whether you feel like they got overpaid or they wasn't worth that money, regardless of the fact, good business says that if you got somebody back there in the corner, they don't have many options, stand your ground, okay? If you're driving 100 miles away, 300 miles away, right? And somewhere in between there, you run out of gas, about 150 miles, right? And you got another 150 miles to go. At the 150 mile mark, you run out of gas. There's only one gas station in between that 300 miles. They're going to overcharge you at that gas station because you don't have another choice. So guess what? You're going to have to overpay for that gas because you don't have a choice. You don't have another option. You understand? And so what I make very clear is Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn had to go the route of Dillian White in the rematch, which Dillian White said, listen, if I made $5 million versus Derek Chisora, you at least going to give me $6 to $7 million somewhere, right? In that ballpark range, right? They didn't want to do it, or they came up with a number, right? And once they came up with that number and they said, okay, we'll do this, but then they had the issue with the rematch clause. As we know, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, everybody discusses this issue with the rematch clause. He even forced Jarrell Big Baby Miller to have a rematch clause. All right? So it's very abundantly clear about the situation, the issue with the rematch clause, right? So that proved to be the reason why, according to Dillian White and according to Jarrell Big Baby Miller, that was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as the negotiations. Dillian White says that, you know, he agreed to the rematch clause, but if he was to win the fight in the rematch, he would get 60-40. In the rematch, Anthony Joshua still wanted to get 60-40 as if he was still the champion in the rematch. And Dillian White wasn't willing to do so. Okay? I don't know if Jarrell Big Baby Miller succumbed to that, but I do know he said that the zone, he said that pay-per-views and Matchroom decided to all chip in and give him between $7 to $8 million, right? That's what he's going to earn. He's going to earn pay-per-view off the back end of the pay-per-view from Sky Sports, because it's not going to be pay-per-view in the States. It's going to be pay-per-view in the UK. In the States, it's going to be the zone, which you have to, I guess you have to pay for the app, but it's not pay-per-view, okay? And so I told you guys, you know, they were going to have to overpay Big Baby Miller or Dillian White because Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder at that point in time were in negotiations for a rematch. Now, today's time, that all fell through, and that's a whole nother story. But at that point in time, That's what was on the table. Deontay Wilder was supposed to face Tyson Fury in a rematch. And so they were the other two biggest names in the heavyweight division that Anthony Joshua could fight. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn was steadfast on telling Jarrell Big Baby Miller if they was to ever give him a shot at Anthony Joshua in the titles, it would be in the States. So guess what? He made them stand firm on their word. He made them stay true to their word. And so now you're getting Anthony Joshua coming to the States to fight Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Right? Dillian White, he went on a 9-fight winning streak since last fighting Anthony Joshua, which he lost via 7-round knockout. But what other opponent was they going? What other route was they going to go outside of coming to the States and fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller? Dillian White knew the only big name they could use to stage at Wembley Stadium for April 13th date that they secured would be himself. So he stood firm on what he believed his worth was. And listen, they chose to go the route of Jarrell Big Baby Miller. And kudos to Jarrell Big Baby Miller for standing his ground and getting what he think he's worth. Regardless if you think he's worth that, if the fans think it, promoters, so on and so forth. Right? You are what you negotiate. Point blank and period. So kudos to him. Right? And now we know that they overpaid Charles Martin almost $9 million for a fight for his vacant belt. I mean, for his belt that he won vacant, that he fought Glasgow in a vacant, fight for the vacant IBF strap. And that's where Anthony Joshua got that strap from. And now they're going to have to give Jarrell Big Baby Miller $7 to $8 million, as he stated. Kudos to him for standing his ground. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.